Good day and welcome everyone. My name is SoScared and we do have today a replay posted in relation to the Match of the Month contest. Now this is not going to be featured as the winner for the Match of the Month, but I'm going to cast this anyways. So, High versus Klaas, map Sidestep, let's get into the game. And so, the game commences. Here it is. Up to the left we do have High, playing as England in his familiar dark color. Used to be black, now it's dark blue. That's to the west side. To the east side we do have Klaas here in the purple, playing as Ukraine. Oh yes. And I did play with the full shroud on, so we don't have the explored map on. That's perfect. Now let's have a look at our players. Let's have a look at their history. We do have Klaas. Klaas has been playing OpenRA for about 4 years, and every time I see his nickname it just makes me happy. He's a super sweet guy, always polite and good-mannered. This is an experienced type of player you want to play against to learn to have a good game and just have a good time in general. He's a role model of the experienced base, I guess, and it's an honor casting his games. Klaas is a rock solid and experienced player, and he will weather any situation. He is it's a stronghold for the long game. Now, but to his left, this is High. High is a player the OpenRA scene knows very well. He's a super creative player, and is not afraid to scramble his tactics. Possibly the most important player to scout in order to know what's coming. He can come up with anything. I mean, he can do whatever enters into his mind at the moment, and with exception of the meta. So normal games for High just doesn't exist. He basically he's a rebel player. Ooh, a light tank. That's a lucky trait. But yeah, he just don't care about the status quo at all, and he's constantly changing and evolving his builds, which makes him able to beat anyone. Now he's coming in with a light tank here, so this is pretty terrible for Klaas actually. He has built up with a War Factory first build, and his first ore refinery is going to be immediately... Oh! It's going to say immediately occupied by this light tank, but the light tank does not occupy it immediately. Instead goes for the ore truck at all. He could just camp this area because the next ore refinery for Klaas is not coming up. Alright, anyway. High is doing the same build as Klaas, which this is the standard build. I'm quite surprised to see this. This is a War Factory first by High, which is really exciting. Like, I have seen him do so many crazy things, that seeing the War Factory first from High, and I guess the next ore refinery is going to be placed here. No, it's at the first ore spot. That's fine too. That actually makes me more surprised that he didn't actually occupy the first ore refinery, because that would just cripple Klaas' early build, and he will be set behind significantly. So the light tank is just going to try to harass the ore field of Klaas, but that's not going to work at all. So Klaas is just doing fine here. But yeah. So this is Sidestep. The map is Sidestep. This map has about 4 ore patches for each player, or just 8 ore patches in total. And it does have 1 ore patch, oil derrick for each player, which High has taken, and Klaas as well. So if you take this oil derrick, then you are sort of putting money into the a longer game. Because it takes a little while before the oil derrick pays off. You do have to pay the original 500 to get the engineer, the production time, and that's 10% of your starting cash. So it does actually present itself as a long-term investment. So anyway, Klaas building a APC, still producing harvesters at the moment. Oh no, it's actually 4 harvesters to the first MCV for Klaas, which is okay. And we do for High he does have 5 ore trucks built with this third ore refinery. Ooh, are you kidding me? We are seeing we are seeing a light tank rush from Klaas. He doesn't disappoint. I was going to say, are we going to see a regular meta build from Klaas? Getting a crate with 4 rangers in. Of course, those rangers is not going to do much. They would do best at just scouting the map. If you look at the big range here, that's overall a lucky catch for High. You can sort of take more map control with that. But yeah, look at this. This actually broke me one time long ago. When I started playing OpenRA in this last summer, I did have this kind of rush coming against me, and it took me by surprise. I had no chance of stopping it. Let's see if Klaas can. Does not have a secondary defensive structure up. He does have a small batch of units, but his flamethrowers, which would do nicely to defend this base, is just going to go into the APC in turn to try to do some damage to High. But he's going to need them in his home base. See, do you have light tanks, which are by themselves pretty useless, but they can kill this Ortruck pretty fast and run over this infantry. Let's see if they do, because they are pretty fast. They will. If they can kill those rocket soldiers, they will be fine. But look at the blob! The infantry blob behind the light tank build of High is gonna totally wreck the only war factory left for Klaas. So that should be game right there. Klaas is not prepared for this at all, even taking out the power plant, and will definitely take out this area as well. There's no flame tower coming up for Klaas here, and here are the good rally points from High, just streaming in more players. Not players, well, they are kind of players in this game. These are infantry into the base of Klaas, and now completely destroyed Klaas. Klaas do have a secondary expansion up here, but there's no production with the exception of 1 barracks and 1, 2, 3 harvesters left. There's the flamethrower rush for Klaas, by the way, trying to do some counter damage, but this should do, in my opinion, less damage to High, obviously, than what Klaas is doing. Oh, Klaas built a radar dome. Oh, that's really bad. That's just being built to be destroyed. There are still left a couple of infantry and a heavy tank here for Klaas to stop this infantry push. Klaas can't lose this ore refinery. That would be game. Right then, right there. And it looks like he's going to be saving it, because he's going to have at least 2 ore patches to work on in order to have a chance against High here. But High is producing nicely. He does have his 5 ore trucks. But damn! You know what? High didn't actually deal with the flamethrower rush by Klaas good enough, because when you look at the left side of High here, he lost his ore refinery. Still has the 2 to the big ore patch, but that's running out very soon. And what else did he lose? What else did he lose? Did he lose any kind of tech? I don't think so, but he did lose that ore refinery. So that's kind of it, right? But still, so Klaas' economy is pretty broken. He has 1, 2 ore harvesters. That's pretty bad. And the flamethrowers didn't really do much damage to the ore trucks, so he still has 5. That's going to just put him in a significant lead. I just need to retake his ore patch, or perhaps just expand. He can't produce an he can't produce an MCV. He doesn't really have the service depot, so he will have to move his original MCV. A silo has built into the game. I don't believe it. Well, this is High after all. Anyway, High is not going to stop attacking. He is just going to just shove in his low tier units. Jesus Christ. If you have watched any of the High videos as of late, he did experiment a little bit with the late Tesla tier units, and did some success with that. It's a very experimental build of his, obviously with the nerfed Tesla troopers, which ironically just made them more attractive to the OpenRA players because they're no longer OP, in my opinion, and therefore players were more up to build them because when the shock troopers were at 100 HP last release, people just didn't want to build them because they thought it to be unfair. But nowadays they are working pretty nicely together with a buffed test tank, and that's what I was doing. This time around he's going back to his old self. I'm recognizing this light tanks, which is generally the most useless unit of the game, but in light rushers this is this. If High were to retain his aura finery to the left, then he would be in a fantastic position. High is already in a fantastic position. He just needs an aura track, an aura finery to his next expansion. He doesn't really have that right now. Klaas, High is kind of just giving Klaas back the time to try to get back here, and see his army can't really defend his expansions or patches by themselves. He needs the MCV, and here it is, finally, after the service depot, to take the northern ore patch, which he desperately needs. Okay, Klaas is just going in here. I think he wanted to do some damage to the southern expansion here to Klaas here, in case he expanded here, but he did not. So Klaas lost his initial heavy tank army here. Now Klaas are doing some nice high-tech builds here. Does he actually build the tech center? Because he did build the radar dome. Let's have a look. Klaas, yes! Klaas is building the tech center, which is going to access him the demo truck because he's playing as Ukraine. And he also did build the airfield, not surprisingly enough, because he gets access to the paradrop as well. Excuse me, he got access to the Ukraine speciality, which is the parabombs. Did he get a multiplication crate again? I think he did. 3 new light tanks. That's pretty nice, especially when you have such a nice infantry army blob such as this. Here's Klaas coming into the northern expansion of High. This is a pretty exceptional attack because High is being put on the back foot here, despite his initial lead here. He's lost. He lost his expansion that he put against the Klaas here to the top. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad for High actually. Klaas has just made himself a contender for the late game here. He moved his original second expansion, or his MCV, to claim his spot on this northern expansion of High, but let's see if that actually pays off. High does still have a very mobile infantry army. Well, I should just say infantry army then, because infantry are kind of slow. But let's see. So Klaas does have 2 ore patches now, and he has rebuilt his ore trucks back to 6, 7, 8 freaking ore trucks. So that's actually put High in a pretty difficult position. High has built 3 war factories, but the thing is about 3 war factories which will produce you, let's see, 15, 25, somewhere between a 30 to 35 percent production. What? Okay, let's just say this. You produce the units 30% faster with 3 war factories, but High does not have the income right now, and he did not take advantage of his southern position. So that gives Klaas the lead here, I think. Yeah, there's this northern expansion again. But High is behind on the tech. This, I think, is the tech center. It looks like it's producing so slow that I think it has to be. Even though High desperately needs an ore refinery. Desperately. Well, there it is. It's not actually a tech center. So good for High. Now, High is going to have to go into the late game here with a more normal build here, because the scrappy builds no longer are valid. Here's the V2 taking down the 3rd war factory for High, which is pretty nice. Just going to go back as well, and High is not building high, so he's not going to be able to hunt these V2s down. This will just pick off. You need 3 V2s to pick off 1 refinery. Yeah, and 6 of them can, well, 5 of them can take down a MCV or a war factory. And here is the special unit by Ukraine. This demo truck, I do not even have to say this, will kill every infantry in a pretty damn large radius. And with that nice nuke attack, the V2 is going to come forth and try to pick off another building. But the V2s are going in front, which is pretty dangerous. And now they were actually just A-moving, which will just shoot off all the rockets they did have to the 3 infantry that I had. Now, what the hell? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 MCVs. This would be nice, but you can't protect your MCVs. Well, it's going to lose 1. And did they pull back the second, or did they just straight up lose it? So High's MCV spam just did not pay off. Well, that's just how it goes. High just refused to go back to the normal game, and because what High needed here to stop this is just a normal medium tank and infantry army. V2s don't really stand a chance with this amount of infantry. Oh, it almost took down our truck. That's, you almost never see that because of the slowness of the V2 rockets. But you're supposed to stop this with a regular army. That's all I'm going to say about that. So it's just going to slowly pick off buildings here, and with very little resistance. Even infantry here having a nice position above the V2s, just going to make the V2s continually damaging High space. Here's the power drop from High, and this power drop is going to do the damage, and this power bombs, excuse me, going to do the damage, and then the power drop is going to come in and try to kill it off, I guess, which is a nice move for him. But his main concern should be the army of Klaas right now. This is really unfortunate for High. He really needed like either an army or high tech. Right now he does not have either, and that's because of his early attempt to shut Klaas down. Just appears that he didn't really have a follow-up. And let's see, 4 V2s, was that 3 V2s shooting at the war factory? At the burst that 4 V2s will have to do in order to shut that down. And so, yeah, High just continually producing, nice V2s. Building infantry here, which are always good, but they need the tank. Here's the first medium tank, I guess. He needs tanks. That's basically what he needs right now. Let's have a look. Oh, Klaas is building up his tech, but he has lost his power. I guess he didn't plan ahead his build, huh? He does have quite a few testicles as well. And yeah. And yeah, Klaas is just well protected overall. I mean, after that initial attack, the battle has mostly been about the expansions, and Klaas is just overall just taking the damage. Here's how you see, even with these few infantry, the 3 tanks will do a world of difference. Look at how the infantry is actually shooting at the tanks, which is kind of ridiculous. And meanwhile, this infantry just coming and just shooting at the infantry, taking no bad damage, and keep moving forward. Now High is just going to kill this infantry with a pillbox or something like that. There's the camo pillbox, excuse me. Pretty good. The heavy tanks is going to do quick work of that. And let's see, does Klaas actually rally point new units in? Doesn't look like it. Oh, I missed the top action here. Wow, there's a lot of things going on in this game. So Klaas is moving in here to the middle now. Jesus freaking Christ. I have to go to Klaas' perspective here. Yeah, he does have the southern expansion with some ore. He's going into the middle now, but I don't think that Klaas is having a game plan. With these few units, these are just timed to get killed off sooner or later. I would hope to him to actually move back and try to do something else. Oh, he's trying to deploy, but the pillbox actually just stopped him. So he's going to have to deploy here, and I guess the Tesla coil will come up. There we go. And we actually have a mini base push here between Klaas and I. Both MCVs are low HP. Testicles is focusing down the construction yard, and a Mammoth's freaking tank is coming in to finish the job. So Klaas will actually retain this base. But yeah, this top action here, damn, I lose this. This was Klaas' original advantage here over High, the northern expansion, which now High has actually destroyed. Jesus H. Christ. But the fact remains that Klaas does have a nice army here with the heavy tanks. Just needs more infantry though. If Klaas can just get more infantry, tanks by themselves are pretty damn useless. And heavy tanks are pretty rough to handle with. But with infantry around them, a pretty big deal of infantry actually, will make a heavy tank almost unstoppable. Unless your opponent have a close to or equal as your army size. Anyways, Klaas is building heavy tanks, and as I said earlier, Klaas has been around in the OpenRA scene for 4 friggin' years, and 4 years ago Mammoth tanks were the definite late game build for Soviet. Not every game, but the thing about the old Mammoth tanks is that it was regenerating health up to 100%. So as long as you did not lose the Mammoth tank, just pull it back anytime you thought that it might come in danger, you'll just never friggin' lose them. And you just get more and more and more and more, and eventually you just roll in your Mammoth tanks against the enemy base. Now High is in trouble here. He is in trouble. He just needs to move his Ortrox to his new positions here. So one expansion is pretty much mined out with 1 ore mine and 1 harvester. Working on that one. This is pretty much mined out as well. Mind you that Klaas has been harvesting this for a long time during the game, so not much there. So the ore on this map is actually pretty much down here. And the other thing about Mammoth tanks is these are very, if you keep them alive, then these are the most economic tanks or units you can ever build, because see, this is why you need infantry. You don't want to lose the Mammoth tanks. Expensive bastards. But yeah, they will still regenerate up to 50%. So this Mammoth tank right here should be moved back now and let this move forward. But anyway, Klaas is going to push High very hard here with a forward MCV here, pushing right into High's main base. The thing about High is he doesn't really have much of a vulnerable tech route. He does have the Radiodome, and now the helipad was built. But it means that as long as High has a nice spread, which it does right now, well, semi-nice, then he could just rebuild whatever tech he needs to just keep on the push. Right now, the artillery is very nice. It does have 1 AA to protect them. So that means that the, let's see, Klaas does not build Yaks. But whatever Yaks Klaas is building, it's not going to counter the allied artillery too much. Well, a small ooh. It's neutral, didn't really kill anything, with maybe a couple of infantry here and there, and some power apparently, because High was actually down powered for a small short period of time. Nice snipe of the war factory, but at the same time it's going to cost Klaas quite a few expensive units here. So well, that actually put High back to 1 war factory, which he's going to have to utilize to produce his army, and it's not going to be fast, I can tell you that. So with holy crap, and Klaas is actually taking out, that's actually bad for High. I mean, it's just 1 ore truck, but High is going to need all the funding that he needs right now. But yeah, High is having 1 nice one, 1 very nice expansion to the top. Having his main base, he can't afford to lose this because there's 2 ore mines now. The ore mines are everything that matters. That's it, that's all he has. Klaas is actually expanding and actually start to mines the secondary ore patch of High. Klaas does have that position. He for some reason has a base here, which was the earlier base push. Another expansion to the south, so one through the main base. So he is one expansion up from high. And at the same time, he does have the better tech. Ooh, nice one! He's taking down the power of Klaas. So he's just going to have to deal with the flame towers. Tesla coils are less of a threat against infantry. Flame towers are a big threat. Oh, and I see on the top left side we do have an A-bomb for Klaas as well, while the GPS satellite has been built with the tech center for high. This is pretty freaking intense. Klaas is building sound sites now because the Hinds of High is out now, and our curtain on Klaas. Jesus, freaking Christ! Ooh, there goes the radar dome of high. A nice pickup there. High does have the other tech center, but it's going to have to need the radar dome to get the artillery back. He does have 2 helipads, so ooh, this is one. Oh, don't want to lose that Hind. That's actually lucky that the helipad was actually destroyed. So this time we're just moving up. But yeah, Klaas is putting on the pressure with Tesla coil builds, and right now High does not have the units ready to actually stop this. This looks like a checkmate. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Eventually, Klaas just managed to outpower High. Reason being, the initial push from High was pretty damn good. Yeah, look at this. Look at, wow, this game actually ran for 27 minutes. That's pretty insane. But yeah, yeah, I think yeah, that's unfortunate. High did not take advantage of his lead there. He did have 5 harvesters versus only 2, and the only thing he needed to do was maybe to just move his original MCV up to one of the expansions, or, and I know that's actually blasphemy for High, just build a regular army. If you build a regular army with 5 harvesters versus 2, then you are going to win the game. It's as simple as that. I can't put it more clear than that. But that's, as I said, that's not what you would expect of High. Instead, High actually built like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He built 6 friggin' MCVs, which is pretty sick if you can get away with it. But Klaas, as I said earlier, Klaas is one player that will easily weather out scrappy games. And as you can see here, he did so. He did occasionally take out expansions of High, most notably the one up here, and then the V2 shots, which picked off some buildings, and then the expansions. I mean the structures down here. High actually never expanded to the southern position here, which he also ought to think about. Pretty sick game. Well done by both players, and a very nice demonstration of what these 2 players are all about. Good game. So yeah, okay, that's going to be the cast for this video. So hope you enjoy this. Keep getting into these games, guys, because as I see it, these matches and this game just keeps getting better and better. So until next time, have a good one. Bye bye.